boy, is our society just, it needs some changes. This is bigger and about more than the death of Charlie. Granted, that is a very large public figure. That is somebody who dedicated their life to fact-finding and having the intelligence and the knowledge to have these discussions. It wasn't just spewing false information. He was speaking on opinions and fact-finding information. Whether it was religion, politics, or his opinions on rights, on the amendments, on rights, on laws. He didn't just go spewing BS. But this is bigger than all of that. This goes into all of these situations that we have where weapons and physical violence and looting and acting out like a cantankerous child instead of being able to just use your words and talk and debate and try to see if you can change somebody's opinion or maybe find middle ground on a topic. But instead, we would rather just gun people down. I'm sitting here looking at, social media, and for the last number of years, when I've been taking some of the time to myself to figure myself out, I don't watch sports as much as I do anymore because I feel like it's more of a distraction and something for people to be happy about instead of actually growing themselves. It's a trap. Just like, sports gambling and electronic gambling. These are all addictions and things that they're putting in your face to distract you and to also try to regulate your finances and your wealth. There's different forms of slavery. And when they abolished actual slavery, they found new ways to do it. Cell phones, social media, scrolling, casinos, drugs, online casinos, sports. I love playing sports, but I'm not going to spend my time worshiping people who get paid millions. That's great. That's awesome that they're doing that. It's a form of entertainment out there. But I got more things that I need to worry about in my life than spending my life worshiping other people who are making their living. You're watching them make their living because they're talented. But we all have our own livings to make. And I see all these people on social media who are being hateful and are celebrating or saying that a man who was gunned down in front of his family and in front of thousands and millions of people on social media, that he got what he deserved. He reaped what he sowed. And just because you don't like what the man was saying, he deserved it. I don't like what a lot of people say. I don't like a lot of you people. Because a lot of you people say a lot of stupid things that make zero sense, and you're leading with emotion rather than logic. You're not actually fact-finding. You're just spewing BS that you read on somebody else's post, or you heard somebody else spewing that it wasn't even fact-found. It's fictional. It's not real. It's fake. It's just spreading false information, and that's what social media has become. And you actually have somebody out there who was a potential future presidential candidate, future potential vice president or president, somebody who was actually leading the world, whether you agreed with him or not, he was leading them into, whether it was faith, whether it was into a form of politics or just civil discourse. He was starting something for people, and he was growing. And we've got you guys out here who are just saying that he said all these hateful things, but you're not actually even showing any evidence of this. You'll go out and you'll actually see the full video and the actual context, and it's him giving his opinion. He's not telling you, that you're this terrible person. He's telling you, hey, these are my beliefs, or here are the facts. What gets me is all of you people on social media who are so up in arms because you're tired of seeing the posts about Charlie. And you want to go in the route of, well, you didn't speak about this shooting. You didn't speak about this tragedy. Well, I'm sorry. Not everybody lives on social media or on the news. People are living their lives. But there's one thing that you can't miss, and that is thousands of posts on the timeline if you do get on social media for even 2 minutes since the day that the occurrence happened. And what is really sour is what I want to point out to you guys who are saying these things. You don't see the video footage of these tragedies happening. But guess what footage was on the internet for much longer than any other video could have ever been on of anything actually violent happening. You put violent and actual things that go against standards, with gore or excessive offensive language, especially somebody being shot, dying on camera, and multiple views, those videos get taken down immediately. You got you people sharing it, for one. But how was it on social media as long as it was? When these things are literally, you don't just get posts, you don't just post things and they just stay there until somebody reports it. Like, there are people that are actually reviewing this stuff, and it's still on the internet. That's a problem. You have a father, a husband, that's gunned down in front of their family and in front of thousands of people, and then it's broadcasted on social media for millions and billions of people to see, and it's on there for however many hours, over a day, I'd imagine. And we're people out here celebrating it or saying, you know what, he got what he deserved. And you people who are saying that are sick, honestly, because if that was somebody close to you, you'd be mortified. That is literally, you are desensitized, and you're one of the people who hide behind a keyboard without any worry of consequences in your life. That's why we're in some of the places that we are in society, is if everybody is hiding behind a keyboard and they think they can say whatever they want, you just wait until you say the wrong thing to the wrong person and something bad does actually happen to you. I hope it doesn't. But you saw what just happened. You see what happens to people all the time out in society. It shouldn't happen. This goes into far, far deeper, and these are conversations that even Charlie has had in his conversations at these, forums that he has. This is, fathers being in the home. This is parents holding their children accountable for their actions. This is being teachable and coachable. This starts in school and in sports. To be a good family member, to be a good friend, to be good teammate, a good athlete, a good coworker, a good entrepreneur, whatever you want to be or whatever you're going to be or whatever you are throughout the process of your life. All of these things start with being held accountable and knowing that what you do can affect other people. And is it worth doing that and affecting those other people? It's called integrity. It's doing the right thing even if nobody's watching. It's participation awards. It's not actually punishing your children, whether it's verbally or physically. There's a happy medium, and not everybody's the same. So some people abuse that. We're never going to live in a society, whether they ban guns or not. We're never going to live in a violentless society. It's always going to be there, because there's always going to be good and evil out there. You ban guns, you take guns out of responsible people's hands, and you have people who actually want to do damage that are going to go get them illegally anyway. It's the same thing with cars. I've seen a thing that Charlie was even speaking about it too. Same thing with cars. You got 50,000 people who die. I don't know what the exact yearly statistic is right now, but the statistic that I saw that he put out there at one point was like 50,000 people die in automobile accidents a year, whatever the actual number is. But you say, oh, well, let's take cars away. So we're going to take away our ability to fastly travel places, and people can go travel on horse or on foot again, or have to use maybe public transportation because we want to get rid of those 50,000 deaths. Like, bad things are going to happen. We don't want them to happen. We want things to change. We want to find ways to make things better. But we're never going to have a violentless society. But for somebody to get gunned down, especially in the fashion that they did, because of his words. He wasn't physically harming anybody. He wasn't actually spewing hate at people. He was typically, and for what I've seen, respectful, professional, and very well spoken. He wasn't cursing you out and telling you that you should go do this to yourself. He let you come up, he let you speak, and he spoke back to you. And you had a back and forth. Whether he agreed with you or not. As long as you weren't being belligerent and hateful, he even still allowed you to speak, and he killed you with kindness. But all these people out here, because they hear somebody else say a negative thing, they just let it snowball. And that's the issue, is that social media and people not being held accountable and people leading with emotions instead of logic is the snowball and the downfall of our society. So all the people who are posting and talking are the ones who are in the right, not the ones who are sitting here posting about, oh, I don't understand why everybody's talking about this, and you're wasting your time. No, you're wasting your time. You're the waste. The people who are standing up, great. We've had assassinations, we've had major things like this happen that led to changes in our society and in America and in this world. I'm sorry that some of you are so desensitized or so unhappy in your life that you're glad that this happened to a father out there, that happened to a husband out there. But because he's not, you don't know him, you don't care. And I hope that none of you ever have to witness or live that somebody close to you and your family, that happens to them. He may have said that this could potentially be coming and that it would never shy him away from doing what he does. But it doesn't mean that he thought that it was actually going to happen that day and that he wanted it to truly happen. But at the end of the day, it's going to make a movement bigger than anything. And that's why a lot of us are talking and a lot of us are posting and sharing. So we're not going to let somebody who is out there actually doing something positive in the world, by getting these generations, these younger generations, into some sort of politics or discussions, to actually go out there and regulate yourself to have a discussion rather than stomping your feet and pulling a knife or pulling a gun on somebody. This is bigger than just Charlie. This is our society, and we need changes, and we need strong parenting, and we need people to hold our people accountable. If your friend is being a dirtbag and they're being hateful, you need to hold them accountable. Whether you tell them I'm cutting ties because you're a bad person, or you actually call them out and you do something about it. Instead of letting people just be bad people. I don't care if it's your family, your friend, or just somebody on the street. If somebody is treating somebody poorly, say something. But in the same token, if you're out in public and you don't like what somebody's wearing, or you don't like what somebody's saying, if it's not directly affecting you and they're not actually physically hurting somebody or bullying somebody, and they're just doing what they do, speaking their opinions or doing what they do, then mind your business. Find a way to regulate yourself. If you don't like it, remove yourself from the situation. But there needs to be a figuring out of how to lead with logic over emotion and not just hurting people because you can't regulate yourself. I wasn't some crazy Charlie Kirk follower, but I had seen his content many times. Maybe if it was scrolling through Facebook, if it was scrolling through Instagram, if it was scrolling through TikTok or YouTube, and the times where I would have some scrolls on there, I would see some content, and I enjoyed the way that he spoke. Whether I agreed with everything he said or not, I agree with how he spoke. And there are a lot of things that I don't agree with that are happening in this country. And there's probably going to be discussions about that coming. Whether it's my own thing where I'm starting to do my own discussions again about the world and where we're at and parenting and society, or if I actually start some sort of a podcast with my brother or with friends who can actually get in and start having some conversations, because we need to start having conversations. And that's what I want to start doing, because we need changes and we need people to start holding people accountable, and we need people to start talking. We're all human. We have all made mistakes in our lives, and everybody deserves some sort of a second chance. But if you're out here saying that somebody deserved to get gunned down in front of their family, you are the problem. And I hope you wake up. I hope you wake up. I hope that you see that you're allowing the fact that you don't like that your feed is flooded with this situation that is a major change and a polar turning point in our society. I hope that you wake up and realize that this is important and that you can be better. But if not, it is what it is. That's all I got for right now. We need some major changes, and we need to start having some conversations, people. Love y'all.